I think it's been a benefit. You know, it's been a real blessing in disguise. I mean, obviously, it's been, you know, I'm not going to lie about it. It's been very tough for artists globally just to keep things going, especially new artists that depend on live touring so much. But it's definitely been important in terms of all of us are actually learning so much more about all the different live streams, the different companies, how they all work together. And, you know, I think this is actually a pivotal moment for the live music industry to work out a new model moving forward and see how we can implement tech into some of this stuff.
So what are some of the ways that artists are really trying to be creative in the way that they connect with their fans right now?
I mean, I've seen some amazing stuff. You know, I think the early days, the best things I saw were kind of people and artists hacking the technology that we have, such as Zoom, just to be able to do a performance for fans and stuff like that. So there's one artist that I think of, an amazing young lady called Gracie Abrams that's over at Interscope, and she just did a whole tour based on that as well. So, you know, I think that's been great. BTS, the K-pop group, they did a huge live stream, which obviously everybody knows about, and they had this interactive glow stick function as well. I think the most creative things, the things that work the best, are the ones that visually are beautiful to watch and also have a sense of real interaction as well.
So then, given some of the things that artists are now trying out because of the pandemic, how do you see that changing the future of live music and live music events?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm quite positive about it. I mean, I think that right now it's a really tough time for everybody. It's a tough time, especially for our, you know, for artists, but also for our touring crews that I really feel for, that work so hard on the road. But I think once we get the shows back, and I know for sure the shows will come back at some point, we're going to really be blessed, I hope, with implementing technology with the live industry. And what I mean by that is that I think that new artists that don't make as much money on the road generally will be able to live stream some of their shows, will be able to do virtual meet and greets. You know, I think some of the branding stuff will come a bit more naturally as well as part of that. So I think it's an exciting time to develop, like I said, a new model.
And what would you say have been the most lucrative revenue streams that have come about during this pandemic?
I mean, that's a tough question. You know, I think like I said, the truth is that many artists are struggling, and live is such a big part of what they do. But you know, as agencies, as managers, you know, labels, everyone's diving quite deep on the brand side, of course, learning about all the different live streaming, you know, options and stuff. And I think that those are the best things that we can do for now as we keep learning and more work towards a new model.
And are there some tech platforms that have perhaps adapted or pivoted better than others at this time?
I mean, you know, that's a great question. I think the reality is that I've never heard of so many more live streaming platforms as I have now. I mean, everyone's reached out, and everyone has a new platform or a platform that's been around for a long time. So it's, you know, I think at the end of the day, without being, you know, I think a lot of them do a similar job, but some of them have obviously more experience doing it, more capacity to handle bigger numbers, and are more, the best ones, the ones that will win, in my opinion, are the ones that will be the most flexible towards what artists want to do and for their specific fan base.
Now, as with any new innovation, there can be some sort of push and pull between the old and the new. We did see that when streaming first came about, and artists didn't feel like they were getting their fair share of the revenue. How do you see the future when it comes to partnerships between artists and tech firms and some of these record labels as well?
I mean, again, that's an excellent question. I think that this for us in the live music industry is like the early 2000s with, you know, the dawn of iTunes and streaming and all that kind of stuff. A new model definitely needs to be worked out, and I think as we're, you know, as everyone's doing these different live streams, it is being worked out, and there are a lot of kinks that happen between, you know, for example, on our side, trying to do live streams, and then obviously we have to get the rights from the label, from the publisher, and you know, and those things. Like I said, those things are being worked out now, and I'm hopeful that moving forward there'll be a model where everyone feels comfortable, and especially obviously the artists are looked after in the right way.
And we did see that recently artist Kanye West sort of raised the alarm about some of these problematic record deals. A number of artists, they're agreeing with him. As the industry does continue to evolve, what sort of challenges do you think they might face, or are there certain aspects that you would like to see change?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think what's going on now is there's a big conversation, you know, and I think the definitely on the label side, that model is definitely a very dated, you know, a dated model that I think as with all these things that are happening now with tech and, you know, live music and everything, things need to progress.